Not me starting on time. Not me starting on time. Keep up. Keep up. Hi, my name is Wanda. Hi, my name is Wanda. I'm the founder of Black Women Travel. We have a group, Black Women Digital Nomad Entrepreneurs. We also have a podcast, Black Women Travel Podcast. We also have a conference coming up where you get to take all the stuff that you know from theory to practice. And we want to help you to acquire some more tools that you might not have that you think you might need. But we'll see if you really need them or not, because sometimes we bog ourselves down with unnecessary stuff. But that is coming up on December 4th and 5th, International Black Women Travel Jubilee. Super excited about that workshops. Also for my creators, I'm working with a couple of brands, one for sure, one maybe. The check has not cleared. But I want you to meet with them and get paid to work with them. Travel and Leisure is one of them. And they're looking for writers and on air talent. So I want to hook you up with them. Yeah, this is the open house. So we just came from a mixer. The mixer is super dope where you get to talk one-on-one with other Black women travelers and just get cozy, just get comfy. I love intimate conversations. I love us being able to have real talk with one another. So this is the second event in our open house where I want to talk to you about what it takes to get started. I want to talk to you about how to overcome some of the challenges as you're getting through what you need to get through to have a travel and online business lifestyle. So, thank you for being here. Um, I also want to take your questions. So, if you have any specific questions that I could answer, go ahead and pop them into the chat and talk nice to the other ladies who are here. These are my homies. So, um, the homies are dope. So it's good to know other people. It's great to be around like-minded people. This is where community happens. It happens in our events. Our group is dope, but the love really shines through the events that we have going on. Okay, so what we got going on over here in the Chizat? Yo, 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 Ife up in the house. Stacy Ann. Hi everyone. CDJ. Thank you so much, CDJ. In yesterday's live, I shouted you out for the donation that you made. Thank you so much for that. Stacy Ann is also a donator. Rosanna also bought your girl some tea. Teresa is a Patreon member. Teresa hungry. Teresa, you was doing your hair and now you hungry and now what? Hi, International Inez. Thank you for coming through. So let's start from the top. Please give me your questions because I'm interested in talking about what it is you want to hear about. How do you leave? Like that's usually number one. I got all this stuff. I got leases. I got a job. How am I supposed to leave? Quit them all. If you can get out of your lease without paying extra money, that's always optimal. And you can give your job 2 weeks notice, but sometimes they'd be like, actually we good, don't come back. So make sure you plan for that. If you are going to quit your job, they may not want you to work the 2 weeks out. Make sure that's a part of your financial plan. Also, what else was it? Your home, your job. Oh, you got to quit your family too. So sometimes it is tough for you to have those conversations with the people that you love. And sometimes there are extenuating circumstances. So if you have children, but they're not grown and you want to travel with them, if you have grown children, but they don't like the idea of you leaving, or if you have elderly folks in your life and you're concerned about that relationship or not being able to physically be there with them as well. And so these are real life things that come up. And it's really just about you making a decision about how you want to handle it. Are you going to deny yourself the thing that you really want in order to stay in a situation where people need you? Or are you going to go after your life and go live that? And just by the way I worded it, you can see what I'm going to suggest you do. I feel like there's just always a way. There's always a way. There's always, always, always a way. That's all Black women know how to do is make a way. 365, 366 on a leap year. So what kind of way do you want to make? How are you going to work through your feelings so that you can show up in your life the way you know you're supposed to show up in your life? So, yes, break the lease if you have to, but you can also plan your travels around the lease. So like when the lease ends, then you can get up out. Don't get a storage unit. Please don't get a storage unit. Do not get a storage unit. Do not get a storage unit. If you can just like sell your stuff, most stuff is replaceable. And your stuff is probably not all that great anyway. I mean, maybe it is, but like it's probably some years old. So it's just stuff. And also, when you leaving, please don't pack so much. And you probably will, just because you ain't never had to pack to move abroad before. You've packed for vacation and you probably overpack for vacation, but it's a short term thing. And so you're like, oh, I'm going to be gone a week. I'll be back. I can lug this around. And it's terrible. But if you are long term traveling and you are carrying all that luggage around, it's horrible. So, logistical wise, location. A lot of people are like, where am I going to go? And you're just never going to know if a place is a good fit. Even if you're vacationing there, there's a part of you that's not really sunk in, right? There's a part of you that's like, I got to return flight. So, this is not really permanent. You're still seeing a place through those rose colored vacation glasses often. You never really know until you're there for maybe a month, maybe a couple of months, whether or not it's really a good fit. Then you get to lift up under the skirt a little bit and see what you're really working with, right? Because it's like the stuff that I didn't notice before, you start to notice. Like, how different is it to do all the stuff you are used to doing? And you're just not going to get that in a week or 2 weeks. It just takes time for you to settle down and experience a place to understand if it's really a good fit for you. Some things that people prioritize, you're looking at cost of living, you're looking at community, like a local community. Some people even want some Black folks there. Also, culture wise, like, is it a good fit? Yes or no? And are you interested in learning the local language? Or if you like me and you're a little bit lazy, you are places where people know English a little bit more. um, so you don't have to learn so much. Or you can have local friends, which is a thing as well. Sometimes community can involve that as well. So, cost of living, community, cultural fit. Also, weather. Weather is very important to many of us. So you're not going to know what that's like until you're there. Like I'm in Albania right now. I've heard about winters in Albania. I'm getting to experience a winter in Albania. And that's nothing like what you hear about because it's in your body, right? So you have leaving, you have the location. You also have, let me check my notes. And remember, if you have questions or you want me to expound on any of this, let me know. You also have money. So a lot of people get remote jobs and they're like, I'm just going to work online. This is the path that is most available and most known to me. So I've been working for people my entire life. I'm going to just keep doing that while I travel. And that is possible. Sometimes what will happen when you do that is you are still living within a system, within a structure, within oppression. You are still not making time to do what I call soul work. You're not making time to do the stuff that you really care about doing. You're not doing the work that it takes emotionally, psychologically, physically, even to express the stuff that's inside you, to put energy and action and focus and attention on the thing that makes you sing. And in some ways, some of you are already doing that and you're feeling hampered by your day job because that is a whole thing. You are trying to create something while having a lot of your attention and energy and focus, at the job because they want that so much. They want you, girl, there's the phrase, drink the Kool-Aid. They want you to drink the Kool-Aid real tough. So how do you manage that? It's like, how can you emotionally make space for that? How can you, Mother May I, take a giant step backwards, right? And say, this is the energy that I'm going to give to that. I'm not going to spin my wheels and playing the politics. I'm not going to spin my wheels on trying to come up with creative processes and like all this other stuff. I'm going to show up, I'm going to do my job, and then I'm going to allow myself to feed the thing that feeds me, because that's what soul work can do. Now, I don't think, from experience personally, you'll have to go through what you have to go through, but it that can't be all either. Like, you also have to create space to just be. You have to create space to just connect with yourself. um so I told you about, at the top, I told you about the International Black Women Travel Jubilee coming up. And what was it? Today is Sunday. This was yesterday. Pandemic time. I am so far removed from that. This was yesterday. So I think I had a panic attack. So, I like to keep it 3 trill with y'all. It felt like an elephant was, I could breathe. I could breathe just fine. But it felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. And I was like, what was going on? And because I didn't know what was going on, it made it worse. I was like, but it was like very low key. And I'm like, well, it's like very British. My brain was like, oh, hate to be a bother, but like, I really don't feel good about what's going on right now. And so I'm just going to sit on your chest a bit. And so I had to get out and like go for a walk and go have a coffee and like stare off into space. I took my journal, but like no pressure to deep dive. And so the soul work is great. Like, this feeds me. This is amazing. It's wonderful to take ideas out of your brain, put them out into the world, see if people dig it. And then sometimes people dig it, and that's really, really dope. But also just space to be. And I thought I was doing that, but I think what I was learning was, even though I'm making time, like I'm going out and I'm having, my cappuccinos, and I take my journal and like I just hang out. But maybe there was just too much going on subconsciously too. Maybe my brain was just, the mice, the mice in my head were, they was on that treadmill just a little too long, right? They was on that little wheel just a little too long. And I needed to take a bigger step back, is what I think was going on. So I'm fine. I'm fine. So it can be another layer to the travel. Sometimes people are trying to create their side joint or their full-time joint while you're in your home situation, like your home country situation. And some find it challenging to do that there. But it can also be a challenge to do it out here as well, if you're relying on that to feed yourself, which most people never recommend. If you could save up a bunch of cash and be super conscious about your budget and what kind of lifestyle, like, not suffer traveling. Like, if you're not a hostel girl, don't stay at hostels, right? But just trying to find the stuff that you really need, because that's what's going to feed you the most. You are able to create, you are able to enjoy, you are able to be present when you are giving yourself the stuff that you really, really need. So that's really important, to be able to sit with yourself and say, I'm not a hostel girl. It's going to eat into my budget a little bit more to travel in this other kind of way, but that's what's going to make me comfortable enough to enjoy myself, my life, and feed this soul work thing that I'm trying to get together. And it's just a bunch of testing. You can have the job, but you still might run into the same situation, because just because it's remote work doesn't mean you don't have to actually work. You have to actually work. So managing that, making space for the thing that you want to do, making space for yourself in every way possible. We rest in these streets. Well, we will be resting in these streets. Yes. So then the soul work. And then there's the logistics of like actual money. I suggest getting a Charles Schwab account. I don't think I have a link in the description for this video, but I can put one. Charles Schwab is the best. If you don't have it, get it, because what happens is people worry about setting up bank accounts in other countries. Why? First of all, a lot of countries don't let you unless you're a resident, unless you apply for residency or citizenship or whatever that looks like. So like, no, you have your American citizenship, you have your American passport. Open up your bank account there with Charles Schwab specifically, and you can use your debit card all around the world. If there is an ATM fee, it's reimbursed every single month, and the exchange rate is really, really good. It's usually on par with, there's the xe.com, the what does that stand for? I just know xe.com, which does the exchange rates. And it's usually like on par with that. So it's good all the way around, and like no foreign transaction fees or whatever. Not that I use that for that. I usually only use it for cash. But if you have a credit card that you're traveling with, you want to make sure to get one that has no foreign transaction fees, as well as like all the rest of that good stuff, like exchange rates and stuff. Yes. So the ATM thing, definitely do that. And then you will not have to worry about money any other kind of way, because you have your bank account and you have access to cash. I don't see why. I don't know. People be worried about that, and I'm not really sure why. Other than that, visas. Visas is also super important. So, depending on where you're going, your passport determines how long you can legally stay. There's been something that the pandemic has increased, which are remote worker visas or digital nomad visas. I think those are two of the most common names. All that means is the country knows that you're coming to this place and that you're going to be working online. That does not give you permission to work locally. That's it. If you come into a country on a visitor visa, on a tourist visa, they'll just think that you're coming in touristing. They're not going to know that you're working online specifically, which there's some chitter chatter about that, because nomads have existed for decades, right? And some countries don't necessarily like that. You work online, earning income in your home country and spending it in their country. They like the spend part, but it's the working online part. But it's not illegal as well, if that makes sense. Unless there is a law that specifically states that, which I don't know any countries that have any laws that specifically state that you have to, when you come to the country, you're not allowed to work online. That is something that would take some research. And I don't even know where to begin with that, because, like I said, that's just not, I've never heard of anybody being arrested for working online specifically. I've heard of people being deported because they was doing stupid stuff, but not like because they were working online. But you want to cross your T's and dot your I's, you could research that. Like I said, I wouldn't even know where to begin with that, honestly. So other than that, the remote worker digital nomad visa covers you for that. Otherwise, people just go in on their visitor visas and they do what they do, but they're also generally not working locally, earning local wages. And sometimes they'll do what are called visa runs. So this is also something that doesn't make people very comfortable. It's not illegal. What happens is you're in Thailand and you get, what's the maximum? You get 60 days, I think. In ye olden days, you got 60 days in Thailand. And then you could go to the immigration office and apply for another 30 days without having to leave the country. So that's 90 days total. And then after that 90 days, you would have to leave. And what you would do is called a border run, a visa run. So you would leave the country, you would leave the borders of the country, cross into another country. There's Laos, there's Myanmar. I think those are two of the most common, depending on where you are within the giant country of Thailand. So that's north, right? So you would cross over, and then like you would just come back in a day, in hours, like it wouldn't really matter. And it's up to the discretion of the immigration officer to allow you back in. And so what would happen is some people would be denied entry. So depending on how many crosses they were doing, which would make people very nervous, which is rightfully so. Because like if you left your stuff there and you was like, I'll be back, and then like you wasn't coming back, then you're gonna have to figure out how to get your stuff, right? So that's what makes people nervous. And that's why they would pursue other visas if they were wanting to stay somewhere more long term. They may do like 2 or 3. I think I did 1. I wasn't there very long. Yeah, I think I just did 1, and I didn't like it. So that wasn't for me. It was just too short of amount of time, and I wasn't comfortable with they could not let me back in. So I didn't do that very long. But some other countries, like, it's not that big of a deal. When it comes to border runs, it's a known thing. Like I said, it's up to the discretion of the immigration officer. It's not something you could be locked up for. They just tell you, now you've been coming in and out kind of a lot. Like, no, you're not allowed in no more. And you're like, okay, thanks, bye. And then you go get you a flight somewhere else or whatever. Also, residency. Some people, if you know it's somewhere you want to stay, people just do residency. And, that comes with its own costs and its own processes. And some people document that, which makes it helpful, or they have contacts there that they've used that have helped to make the process useful to get you your papers so that you could just stay somewhere. Usually residents, like, you're paying taxes locally. You probably have to have a lease. And with that, I don't think you have to have a bank account, but you can open a bank account with residency because you're a resident, a tax-paying resident, citizen person. What other kind of visas are there? Depending on the country, there's like student visas, there are volunteer visas, there are other stuff that allow you to stay there. Retirement visas, some people do that avenue depending on what age you are. So yeah, those are some of the options for you being able to stay in a location if you like it more long term. So we talked about how to leave. We talked about location scouting. For location scouting, I also didn't mention, like, sometimes people do scouting specifically. I don't think I said that phrase. They do like scouting trips to go to a place, check it out, and see if they like it. Like I said, it's a little bit more difficult to tell if you're going to like that place or not, because that's a short amount of time to be somewhere and decide, oh, I can move here, I could do this. And then you get there and it's sometimes, those rose-colored glasses are very strong. And once the dust settles, you get to see what a place is really about. I think the alluring thing about traveling sometimes is that you get to put down the struggle. So like you live somewhere and you know what the known struggles are there. Like, oh, they got police brutality. Oh, they got this and that. But when you go somewhere and you don't know who the nigga is there. You don't know who's being oppressed there. You don't know how corrupt the government is and what that looks like there. And so you go and you're like, this is amazing. I got fresh coconut water and I got tacos and whatever. And depending on how deep you get into the culture, depending on how in touch you are with the locals, that will determine how much you know about the reality of a place. And so, them glasses start to slip on down the nose, you start to see more. We also talked about soul work and like how to manage your access to money. And then we talked about, what was the last thing? Visas. Okay. That was a lot. Do y'all have questions? I haven't been paying attention to y'all. Sorry. All right. What it do, DG? What it do, DG? Also donated. Thank you, girlfriend. I think you did. Fran is up in here. Robin is up in here. Sorry I missed y'all yesterday. I watched it this morning. All right, girl. Sell that stuff. Give it away, Teresa. Teresa is the expert. She was in France going up and down stairs with all her luggage. And she's still trying to get rid of stuff. Rosanna said, it's a comfort thing for sure. You feel attacked. I'm so sorry. CDJ said, show up for yourself. One time I took 3 cameras on vacation. Definitely too much. Weather is important. Yes, girl. I'm not with that snow life. That is all. Boycott winter. Sell it all, she said, while sitting at home on a home base being tended by her family. And yes, she still says, sell it all. Francine, we missed you yesterday. I might bring you up, actually, so you can talk about what your experience has been in Hermosa. Hermoso. Snow is pretty when you don't have to get out in it. Oppression is real. I'm stuck on finding someone who does taxes for self-employed people living abroad. So I did see, I think it's Robin, actually, that is it Robin? Maybe it's Siobhan. I think it's Siobhan. I just saw it on Facebook. I think it's Siobhan. She has somebody. I've been looking for someone. I might have somebody, I'm not sure. But Rosanna, I'll send that to you or put it in a group or whatever so everybody can see it. I want to see snow on occasion. Drink the Kool-Aid. I actually didn't want to use that because the people who were affected by, what was it, Jim Jones? Like, they didn't like that phrase. Not the British. Yes. She was just very like, I'm not really comfortable here. I don't know what you're doing and I need for you to chill out. You like it? Thank you very much. I had to go stare off into space yesterday too. Yes. Did I say sucker traveling? I don't remember. Hi, Christina. Suffer traveling. Yes, suffer. Managing remote work in time zones. I'm trying to determine if I should keep my current remote job of 9 years and just not tell them that I'm moving my family abroad, or get another, hopefully less stressful, more enjoyable remote job. It sounds like you want to enjoy your life, so I would look for the less stressful joint. I don't know that that exists. Everybody want a pint of blood in your firstborn child. I'm telling you, so many of these companies, like, they Capital One 360, I don't know nothing about them, but CDJ says she thinks they allow international transactions too. Before I go, oh, she wasn't finished. She said, before we go or push to have my coaching business support us by then. It's a little prickly because it's a lot of systems and stuff that you have to get in place in order to let that support you. Even if your cost of living is low, that kind of work can be inconsistent. And so, what are you doing to get clients? Are these people that you can keep? Because, you know, with coaching, like, sometimes it's like, all right, thanks, girl, I feel better. Bye. And it's like, okay, I got to find new people. Resolute Bank for the same price. I heard that it does the same as Charles Schwab. I just signed up. So yes, I have a Resolute account. That's also something that nomads use. There's Resolute. There's one more. Revolute. I'm sorry. Let me make sure. Yes, Revolut. Revolut. What they do is they send you an ATM card that you could use everywhere, but they do have, I think it's like so many transactions and that are free. And then after those transactions, then they start to charge a fee or something like that. And then you have to fund the card from your bank account. Yes, you have to fund the card from your bank account. So you still have to have a bank account. So I just say use a Charles Schwab because no. Oh, she said USAA for the military. You're welcome, Robin. I love talking about this stuff. You're welcome. Some places offer residency if you can create a business that brings jobs for their people. Yeah. Then you got to manage. You know, Americans, we be on stuff a certain kind of way, and then you got to deal with people who be like, man, we'll get to it when we get to it. So, like, it's a cultural thing. But yes, doing visa runs was part of my short-term plan when I moved to South Africa the first time, but the country doesn't allow that anymore. So, you know, with some countries, you have to get strategic. Yep. There's a way. There is always a way. Somebody is doing it. And it's just like how some people also get married for visas. I mean, they do that in America, so I'm not gonna say I support that though. But do what you do, girl. And that's a process too. That takes time. I have pets. I'm having a really hard time traveling with them and without them. Hey, Fatima. And then Goddess Tapestry said, yep, Capital One. You're welcome. All right. So do y'all have questions about any of that stuff? I didn't see many questions. Um, who was that? International Inez. She was talking about keeping the remote job that is steady but not necessarily happy, or finding a new remote job or creating the business. So I will say that while the soul work is all yummy and delicious and stuff on the inside, it is also actual work. So like you're working on yourself as much as you're working in the business. So yeah, it's still stuff. You got to move all types of stuff out of the way inside yourself. And for a lot of us, it is the first time that we have a project that we are creating income for. Self promotion can be very difficult for some folks. We were just talking about that with Miss Joyce. I don't know if she's up in here, um, but she was talking about she's in Panama. I believe it's Panama. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. And she has an event coming up, Galentine's, and she wants to bring the ladies there to have a fun, flirty time in February for Valentine's Day. And she's being really hard on herself, if I can say that, about self promoting and like not being good at self promoting. It's a lot. It can be a lot. Many of us are doing the jobs of 47 people, like literally. You are designing, you are creating a website, you are promoting it, marketing, you are doing sales, like closing people, getting them to buy your stuff. You are SEO experts or novices. You are the face, right? It can take a lot to pull those pieces together when you're not used to pulling them together, and the emotional stuff around I'm not doing enough, I'm not showing up in the places I need to be showing up. How do I get over here? How do I get attention? I hate Instagram. I hate Facebook. There's all this push and pull and tug and please, baby, please. It could be really gross when you are not conscious of how you want to show up and cutting away and giving yourself permission. I talk a lot about giving yourself permission because we often just don't. It's just like, well, this is the way things are done and I need to do this. And it's just like, actually, no. You need to give yourself permission to show up the way you want to show up and know that you're going to get what you need. If you are operating out of fear, you're not going to show up the way that you can so that you can have the things that you want, to get the things that you need. And so that's why I talk about travel, wellness, and entrepreneurship. They are super intertwined. If you are not grounded, if you are not well, if you are not seeing yourself accurately, and that takes a lot of work because we are used to seeing ourselves from the outside in, how everybody else sees us, how America sees us is very conscious, and a conscious effort that you have to make in order to just be like, I'm this human. I'm this human that came from people that didn't know a whole lot. They gave me what they could, but let's be honest, it wasn't a whole lot. And so I'm having to now re-raise myself, pump myself up, give myself compassion, and show up as a whole human being. And what does that look like? And how can I create something from that space that other people will dig? And those are often the things that get the engagement that you're looking for, is by you showing up and you just being really real, like being really you. And so travel can help play a part in that, because by removing yourself from the American gaze, you do get to be more you. You don't have to carry that trauma. You do get to see yourself more clearly, more fully. And then entrepreneurship as well, because you're, once again, after you do some of that introspection, starting to see yourself from other people's perspective. Like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Well, like, how do other people see that? Is the copy hitting? Are the graphics hitting? Is the price point hitting? And so it's just, it's not a two-step, child. It's more intricate than that. I don't know what the tango, I don't know, but it is. It's very involved. What y'all talking about? Married for visas? I'm not gonna say that has to come up, girl. Thank you. This is part of the game too. I make my hair curly for y'all. I have hair privilege. Y'all like that. I'm using what I got. That's Miss Flex and Fly. That's Yumi. She's also going to be at the International Black Women Travel Jubilee on December 4th and 5th. Yumi is so delicious and wonderful. She got roots in Haiti, and her business is Flex and Fly. She is in airports. She has physical spaces that she is building for travelers to experience more wellness. She has an in-flight program where instead of watching a movie or something, you could calm yourself out, okay? Vibe out and get your wellness on. She also has physical products. She just won an award at the Buy from a Black Woman, Nikki Poche. She has a directory of Black women-owned businesses, and November is Buy from a Black Woman month. So she's been doing all kinds of stuff. And Miss Flex and Fly, Miss Yumi, she just won an award. Yeah, she was in Panama. Okay. How many husbands are we allowed? I mean, it depends on the country. I want one from Portugal, Italy. All right, Fatima. Oh, yay, she came. So this is Joyce in Panama. Miss Blast Boomers. Can't get that out. That's real. Think about what you create when you are calm, when you are centered, when you are operating from abundance. And what that looks like is like more often, go look in the mirror, and what's the first thing that comes up? Oh, I got this pimple or this blemish, or my teeth aren't wide enough, or my hair is this, or you're not looking at who's there. You're looking at what's wrong. And that's often how we see our lives. What's wrong? What's missing? What I got to do next? What went wrong? And I'm trying to prevent from happening again. What made up scenario? Like when the zombies come, what's going to happen? Like we are often in preparation mode. We're often in planning mode. We're often just not here. Not right here. I did this exercise. I'll share this with y'all. I think I'm going to write a post about this too. So I did this exercise where I was having a conversation and someone was like, you should grieve the young Wanda who didn't get what she needed. And I was like, okay, but why? Like, why do I need to grieve that? I know my mom did the best she could. Like, I did the stuff that I've always told myself. My mom did the best she could. Like, I did the best that I could. Like, I was just figuring out what to do with these pieces of life, these little scraps that I'm trying to scrape together, right? And they were like, okay, but you need to grieve that. So like I did, and I felt really, really bad. And I was like, am I just making up something bad to feel about? Like, am I just making up something to feel bad about? But I think that there was merit in that, because I think that comes with seeing yourself. Like I never saw little baby Wanda as the victim. I never saw her as me being compassionate towards her for not having the stuff that she needed. And we all have that story. We all have this story of not being fulfilled, of our parents of our family, of our friends, of our mentors, or whatever it is, not seeing all of us. But we have the opportunity to do that for ourselves at any point. And I think that when you are able to be compassionate in that way towards yourself, that you just show up just a little bit more. You got a little more wiggle room. You give yourself more grace. You give other people more grace. It just makes things more fluid in your life. And so, yeah, because my brain was just like, girl, why I got to feel bad about that? I have other stuff to feel bad about. So like, but then I was like, you know what? She did need this, and she did need that, and she did need this, and she did not get that. And that is really sad. And so, like, that was pretty good. So that's for free. You get that for free. Why not keep the steady paying job, live in a place that's low cost, stack your bread, and at the same time work on your side hustle? It is. You can. You can. Something is going to be compromised in the process of that. What I did when I left was I stacked aggressively, and I was still traveling. There was so much more money I could have saved when I was in America, but I stacked aggressively. I came up with about, I think it was 10 or 11, maybe 12 G's before I left, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it carried me through 3 years. Was it 3 years? Because it was like $10 a day. I did a video on that. And what I did was in countries like Europe, because I started in Europe on accident. I was house sitting in Europe. So with the cost of food, and I also had some points through a credit card that I had accrued consciously before I left, so many points. So that paid for a lot of the transportation. So with a lot of the transportation taken care of, and housing, which is always going to be your biggest cost, taken care of, then that, I just had, to make money to eat, right? Really. Or like I wasn't making money then. I was just living off of it, but it was conscious. And that gave me so much space. But I also think I was traveling how I wanted to travel. I'm not a sightseeing kind of girl. I just want to talk to people and eat, pretty much. Maybe get a drink or two in there. But that's the way that I did it. Stack a whole bunch and then just be a conscious spender. I'm also not I need a pool and a gym, and like some people are, which is fine. Again, it's about knowing what kind of traveler you are and what kind of lifestyle you want to live, and then getting there. I was just like, I need to be out here at whatever cost. And what does that look like? Because like I wasn't crazy about animals. Like we had a dog growing up, but I wasn't like, yeah, that was a means to an end. And I made some cool friends along the way. I mean, in the pets, not the humans. I have a lot of pet photos. I need to start sharing those, but yeah. So yeah. But yes, Christina, tell yourself I'm doing this for a short time, but the process will give long-term happiness. Then give yourself a time limit and really budget all of that. Swag surf. Yeah. Okay. By removing yourself from the American gaze. Come on, you better quote me, Ife. Robin said, go flex and fly. Yumi. Francine, I don't know if your email works, but I would love to. We did a little, what's it called? Ketchup, I guess. Ketchup, mustard. With the crew that came last year to IBWTJ. So we got to talk to Errol yesterday. And we were supposed to talk to Francine. But honestly, like, I don't think that was gonna happen because Errol had everything on her heart, honey. Which was beautiful. She had such a gorgeous transformation. If you go back and watch her video, Stacey Ann, I saw your comment. You watched the replay. She was just talking about, coming from this depressed situation. She was married. She has her son, and she came to the event. She got a coach afterward. She hooked up with Adelia, Miss Picky Girl Travels afterward. She got a therapist. She got a life coach. She was getting everything, and she really got her life together. So she's in a different place now. She's freelance writing. Like, she talks about all of it and then some. So let me see, Francine. Let me try and get you up here. I know I can do two things at one time. Okay, so I'm gonna check your email, Miss Francine. If you ready, I'm sure you're ready. You sound like you had some stuff to say when we had our mixer earlier. So we will do that right before we have our watch party. So we had the mixer earlier, and now we're doing this. Next up, we'll have a watch party. Let me know in the comments what y'all want to watch. We talked about maybe watching Queens, maybe a couple episodes of that, or Black Lady Sketch Show, which I think is hilarious. The first season, the second season was not as good, but don't tell them that. Quinta, what's her last name? Quinta, oh, he got money. She wasn't in there, and I think that made a huge difference in the show. Let's see if y'all got some questions. This thing is taking a while to upload. We got to stop looking at what's wrong, Ife. That's what I'm talking about. We got to look at what's there. Our brains are they've been running wild for 800 years, and it's a practice to bring it back. It's a practice to retrain your brain. It's a practice to see things differently. It's a practice to love on yourself because you just ain't used to that. I mean, how many decades have we been alive? Like individually, not like as a human race, and you've had so many more days of not thinking well of yourself, and so, or of life in general. It's just amazing that we're here. Like, it's amazing how we even got to this place where we are able to be in a community with one another and fighting for our lives. Okay, I still haven't sent it, so don't think you missed it because you didn't. Because it's taking forever. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Ife said, living outside the U.S. took me outside of that, helped me to see the world and myself from a place of presence, abundance, as opposed to lack, and everything opened. That's what happens. That's why travel is so great. I think that's why Black people particularly gravitate towards travel in this way, because we are just really not used to seeing ourselves in an excellent light. And that is so sad to me. This world will have us believe that we're this and that. And that's been generations upon generations ingrained in us. So it's super important. Like, it's really life-saving, life-changing in such a profound. It is very profound to be able to get outside of that. Yes. So Yumi is speaking specifically about manifestation, and how she got to the place. She even sold one business before she had Flex and Fly. So she's been at this. She does this. And it will be magical. Food and people. Okay. In Panama, sisterhood, Galentine, blast boomer. Oh, that's what it is. Boomer, not boom. Blast. How long did it take? It was a year. I'm telling you, I was aggressive. So at the time, I was working part-time at State Farm. I need to go back and look at my check stubs or whatever. But I was living in girl, it was not Grand Park. I wish I was living in Grand Park. Where was it? I don't remember. Some suburb it wasn't a suburb, it's a neighborhood in Atlanta. And I don't remember how much my rent was. Just like a little 1-bedroom apartment. So I'm working part-time, had my apartment, and I was just saving. I had a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet just got bumped back up in the top of the group. That helped a lot. So I knew exactly how much money I was making every month. I knew I put in like what the known bills would be. You know, you get kind of a pattern. So you know how much your rent is going to be. You kind of know how much your gas and your water are going to be based off of your usage and your telephone bill. And then the unknown stuff is usually food. Like, are you emotionally eating, girl? Probably. So so that's like the unknown part. You know, how much our grocery is going to be. Are you eating out? That's the stuff you don't really know about. And so it takes a lot more awareness for you to be on top of that. But the spreadsheet helped a lot. Everybody has different systems. Some people like use the cash envelope thing. Like, try something and get to the part where you find something that works for you so that you can understand your cash flow a lot better. I also have a Vanguard account with a Roth 401 Roth IRA, and I put some money up in there too. So that was me contributing on my own, not like a company matched or something set up through a company. That was money that I just put in there alone and let that get real nice and juicy so that if I needed to take some out that I could. So with the Roth IRA, you can take it out before retirement without penalty because it's money that you put in not through your company that you're working with. You just put it in of your own accord. So you're not taxed on that like you would be if you did take it out on money that was done through your company. Yes. That time limit is missing though. Francine, by the way, I did send that. So if you don't get it this time, it just wasn't meant to be. Um, the time limit is missing. I'm about to set a date. Yeah, that's also what I did. I did set my date when I was leaving. So yeah, it was about a year, just saving. It was like taxes and like any bonuses at work I got if that was a thing. Um, and because it was sales, like some of that income was a little inconsistent. It depended on how many sales I was making every month. It was an inbound call center for State Farm up there in Mayretta. Was it Mayretta? No. Where's Lennox? Girl, I don't even know her no more. What is Atlanta? Was it by Lennox? No, it was outside of 260, 365. All right, I give up. It was outside of the circle up north. I think it's Marietta. Yes, Errol is dope. We messaged afterward and she was like, I didn't even realize how much I've grown. You have got to see yourself. There is so far to go. We always say that we're never happy with where we are. That's the thing about traveling too. That's gonna become your new normal. Miss Kathy, I had a call with her and she was like, there are so many people who will never get to Albania. And I was like, you know, you're right about that. Let me sit back and appreciate this. Cause I think I've showed you all like the mountains and stuff. Like I've stopped looking. like I see it, but like I don't see it. It just becomes your new normal, right? You just washing dishes in another country. So oh, thank you so much, Miss Joyce. I can't say enough. Lifeline and support and encouragement you provide. She don't talk like that, but yes, girl, but don't pack too much, okay? Pack light. Yeah. We're gonna have karaoke one day. Teresa, I'm gonna play a video. Teresa got a video singing happy birthday. You are, honey. Francine, she was talking about wanting to break free of being on a time, like being on a schedule, because she teaches online. And so, oh, actually, is it online still? Well, I guess we'll never know because you're not getting my invite. Um, it's a little bit shady. Um, I'm sending it to your Yahoo. That's the only email I have, love. Yahoo. We kind of out of time though. Okay. Okay. That was so many minutes ago you sent that. Um, huh? You sold a shirt on Reddit? Oh, there she go. Okay. So we're gonna have Francine come up. Hi.
Are you really? Oh my goodness.
Huh?
Okay.
You sold a shirt on Reddit? Oh, there she go. Let's let you get settled. We're gonna have Francine come up. Hi.
Are you really? Oh my goodness.
Huh?
Okay.
You sold a shirt on. Okay. Has your budget changed since you started your travel? Is there anything you wish you could have done differently? Hey, Janelle. Janelle also made a donation. Thank you so much, girlfriend. Has it changed? So when I moved from Europe to Southeast Asia, no house sitting, and I was just renting. A lot of places in Southeast Asia do month-to-month rentals, and the cost of living is usually depending on how you're traveling. A lot of times, like the stuff you'll find immediately are marketed towards expats, and so it's probably going to be twice or three times the rate that local people pay. With that's your business if that's what you want. Sometimes those are the places with the pools and stuff too, depending. Um, but sometimes those places also come with like a year contract or something. So if you don't know if you're going to stay somewhere, that's something to consider. Has it changed? Probably not. It's probably still around maybe maybe $15 a day. My budget, the place I'm staying in now in Albania, $220 a month for the rent. It's like $10 for the internet. It's the electricity before the cold times. What was that? Maybe 15, and the water is like $7. And then I eat like in season, like local food mostly. Um, there's Italian food, but like a pizza is like $5, which is higher than what the local food is. So yeah, I don't think. Is there anything I would have done differently? Probably wouldn't have packed so much. Well, we need to do something on packing clearly, because when I first came out, like, oh, it was so much. I've lightened the load a little bit, but I also haven't in a way. So, um, we should probably other than packing, like, not really. I don't think I would do too much differently. Okay, Miss Francine, is your mic working now? Can we hear you? Oh, you know what? It's me because I've
I
been up here
think
alone.
so. Can you hear me?
I've been up here
Can you
alone.
hear me?
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.
So this is Miss
Sure.
Francine, all of y'all. Tell us when you left. Tell us what life has been like since the International Black Women Travel Jubilee last year.
Um hmm. I left in January of this year, January 21, to come to Mexico. I've gotten out of the country or out of the US by teaching. So when I initially left in 2019 to go to Mexico, I'm sorry, to go to China, it was through teaching. And we went on vacation the following year and were locked out of China. And then uh, I was in Greensboro, North Carolina with my family um, for the entire year of 2020. I attended the Jubilee, and since then, I made my way to Mexico. I needed to get out of the country. I loved being there with my family. It was a big dichotomy. I loved being at
Mm-hmm.
home with my family because my girls are adults and were on their own. But during the pandemic, they came home. So the
Mm-hmm.
four of us were together in North Carolina. And that's when I started doing, um, finding workshops and finding people like you to listen to, because I needed to get that in my head. I was depressed. I was loving being with my family, but I was really missing being out of the country and being on my own and having that autonomy. And so uh, I needed things like the Jubilee in order to get me back um, to me. I don't know any better way to say that. So a friend from China was moved, who was stuck in Malaysia, found a job in Mexico. She then told me about that job because they needed someone, and within a week, I was on my way. I'm not sure if I answered your question.
You
but
did.
Okay,
You did.
okay.
You was giving us the setup for what was going on before you met Jubilee, and then after Jubilee. What was it like when you left? So a lot of people are. First of all, did you do anything special to prepare to leave? Because this would have been your second time. China was your first time. This was your second time, right?
Correct.
So did you do anything special to prepare to leave? And then once you got there, what was your experience?
I don't know that I did any that I particular. Okay, I got the support, and I got the people like you into my head that told me, because I was in a place where I wasn't sure I'd be able to go back. It was almost like it was done, and I needed it not to be done. I wasn't ready for it to be done. So I needed to have people talking in my head like you, um, that this is something that we need to do for ourselves, that we need to, the self-care, the realizing who you are and what your needs are, and all of that. And so I needed to have those voices in my head. I think that was the best preparation for me. I wanted to go. I didn't know how. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I've been fortunate, and maybe it is the manifestation that everybody talks about, that I wanted to go. I needed to go. And out of nowhere, this friend contacts me and says, look, are you looking to get out of the country again? Are you looking for a job? There's a job available. And I jumped on it. And like I said, within a week of the interview, I was on my way. Once I got here, I'm in Hermosillo, in the state of Sonora in Mexico. Once I got here, we were working online. So you did say that we were from our home. So the first hurdle was finding a place that I could be comfortable in. And so, because I was going to have to be here in this place for the entire time. So I found the apartment. That was a struggle. They gave us 3 days, and I was like, I can't find anything. So they gave me a few more days to find something. They provided a realtor. I have temporary residency through them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all kinds of things were taken care of through this that I didn't have to do.
Right.
So I'm grateful for that. We worked online through July, and then we were off, came back in August, and now we're physically in school with the kids. I'm teaching English to first and second graders in a Catholic school in Mexico.
Come on, sister.
Before. Yeah. I've done it before. Something I thought about when I was in China was that my time was really important to me. Mm-hmm. And so I worked for a university in China, and in China, it's the reverse hierarchy, in that university professors or teachers are
swanky, super
are
respected.
paid the least. They're the lowest on the totem pole. Yeah. So
that's China for you. No.
So as a university professor, you are paid the least, but I paid for nothing except for my food and my phone.
Yeah.
They supplied the apartment. They gave us a stipend to pay for our utilities. I mean, everything was taken care of. So that was great. If you were teaching in schools, you were making much better money. But I had the time. I worked maybe 10 to 14 hours a week. depending on the semester. And we had all kinds of vacation time, including vacation stipends, or travel stipends. So yeah, that was a great situation. And from 12 to 2:30 every day, there was nothing going on. That was your break time. And when I'd heard that before, I thought, so they leave and then have to come back? Like, why? But that became precious time from 12 to 2:30, Monday through Friday. So anyway, so there was that. When I came here, we were working online, and I think my schedule was 7 to 3, but because we were at home, it didn't really matter. So there was still a lot of free time, or a lot of freedom or flexibility in what I could do and my time, because essentially while I didn't have to be in this apartment, although I was the entire time, we were at home. So I could cook when I wanted. I could eat when I wanted. I mean, I'd have to teach class, but I was flexible around that. And I only had 3 classes a day, so it was a different thing. Now that we're back in school, it's another story, because I physically have to be in this school from 7 to 3. And I'm realizing more how precious my time is, and how I need to go more of the digital nomad route versus the expat route, as I see it, because I want more control of my time. And I'm just getting too old to be controlled.
Now, you know, we don't do that around here. Do you feel like you had time to decompress? Like, do you feel like you had time to like be with yourself, or was it because you said you had 3 days to find a house and then you working online, and like I don't know if they had like a break or anything?
What I focused on was that I was out of the US, and that was like my main thing.
Right? I'm free.
So that made it okay. So I could deal with any of the other things because I was out. I was out of here. And that was what I needed. I needed to be gone. I needed to be on my own, to be that autonomous being that I could be. I'm hearing all these wonderful things about Errol. I need to watch it because I haven't seen it. And I'm excited for her. I'm so
Our baby
excited.
girl has grown up.
Yeah.
Got rid of the I didn't mention that she got rid of the man. Like, she's blossoming.
I kind of felt something, but anyway, yeah.
Well, we did talk about it. I mean, she's very open, so
yeah. I'm so happy to hear that things are going well for her.
But we're happy to hear that things are going well for you. Thank you. Let's talk about that. Have you had a like? Did they have a summer vacation or?
Yes, we did, and I went back to North Carolina.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
So like, you haven't really sat by yourself nowhere yet. Still. I mean, like, yes, but you were working, so like, no.
Yeah, and I've taken some short vacations since I've been back.
Okay.
And that's been good. But have I truly sat with myself? Besides the realization that I need my time to be my own, that while I'm grateful for these jobs that got me out of the country, that was the initial move.
Yeah.
And now
that's great.
To continue, I've got to, I realize that I need to do something different while I'm out. Now that I'm out, I need to do something different.
That's really what it takes. Sometimes it is the baby steps. Having that infrastructure, when people go to another country with a job, it's a totally different experience. You ain't gotta worry about visas, often the housing thing as well, and the bills and like whatever else. You have an infrastructure, co-workers and stuff like that you could lean on for stuff. So it's often so much easier, and that helps to get your feet wet. So it sounds like you are dreaming up some new stuff, which is beautiful.
I am. I'm considering a few things, including coaching, but my love is a creative expression
Mhm.
through whatever form. My degree was in dance. I danced with the dance company for a short while. Um, but I feel best when I'm creating. And so I'm now in, quote unquote, in search of the way to express myself. My photography has been a thing, but it's been a thing for me. I haven't really shared that. And my writing has been a thing, but it's been a thing for me. And it's like, these are two things that you love. What can you do with that to keep
Uh-huh.
this freedom or to build this freedom um, in the way that you want it? So show up for yourself the way you want to show up. I heard you when you said that. It's resonating with me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I need to show up the way that I need to show up and not be so concerned about what it looks like to other people, because I
You gotta
can't
give
live for
yourself.
them anymore. I've done that, been there and done that. And like you said, I'm taking the baby steps, but I'm excited by these baby steps.
Mhm.
These baby steps are exciting to me. And so now that I've figured out you need to do something that you love in a way that you're not overwhelming yourself with it. Um, and that's what I'm working on now. And
That
that's what I'm
balance.
working on. So
Well, I don't
yeah,
know.
I'm moving in the right direction and I'm excited about that.
In one of these videos 700 years ago, I talked about using our creativity as self-care. It's just like so often we have been consumed with keeping a roof over our heads and keeping the people around us in some way, shape, or form. And we don't just like take the time to take the pictures
See
to
my blue
write.
skies? That's so exciting to
Yes.
me. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. We don't take the time to write for ourselves and
Mhm.
write for like share our writing with others and stuff like that. It is, I think it's essential, right? If you have something inside you to spend time devoted to that.
Yeah,
And
I
it
agree.
doesn't always, I put up one of Rosanna's comments. It doesn't always have to lead to money, but sometimes it can. Ife says she's excited for you. Yes. So you were definitely resonating with the ladies here.
Well,
Um,
I'm happy. I mean, sometimes we think that what we think we want to do next is what we're going to do next, and that's going to be it. And we may or may not be comfortable with the idea of that. But each step leads you to something else. And you just have to be willing to take that first step. So you may not see the end result, but you have to take that first step so that you can eventually get there, because everything leads to something else. And that's what I'm finding out.
you probably won't see the next step. As a matter of fact, it's not if you see it, you might not see it, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to take that step.
Mm-hmm.
What you said is crucial. If you don't let yourself go through the motions, you will never experience what you're experiencing so that you can get to wherever it is you're going.
It's always an idea and never something that's executed. And so then you're stuck. So yeah,
Yeah, that
you're
part
right.
too.
You're absolutely right.
And I think that manifests in our lives in a lot of different ways. It's not just being discontent with ourselves and our current lives. It's also, you know, in our spirit, in our moods, in our
Mm,
physical bodies as well. You know how our bodies. I told you about that elephant sitting on my chest.
yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
darling, you've got to slow down. Thank you. Don't mean to
Yeah.
bother. Sorry. All right. So yeah, it's super important to take time to be with ourselves and create from ourselves, and not be too caught up in where it's gonna go, because you just never know. This is the thing, is like I think we are Black women. We First of all, we're in our heads more than we're in our bodies.
Yeah.
So there's that. We're constantly in our heads
Hmm.
and not allowing ourselves to express ourselves to ourselves or each other often, and certainly like not putting our stuff out there in the world because of being hyper criticized
Mm-hmm.
and generally unsupported, right?
Yeah.
Unless you a lashes or a wig girl, and in that case, everybody all over your stuff apparently. So it's really important to ground down into that. I love everything that you're saying. Everything that you're saying is all of it. It's all of it. You have to put yourself out there. You have to let yourself walk around in the dark a little bit for a
Mm-hmm.
little while. And you get a little glimpse of light here and there. And you keep walking because that's the only way you're going to get anywhere. You can't just stand still, you know. So we are excited to see what this dance, what this writing, what this photography, what your creative
Where it takes me.
things. Yes.
I mean, I'm happy to hear you say we've got to walk that walk, because walking is how I got started in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody said, just do one thing, just do one
Mm-hmm.
thing. And I was like, what? That one thing, what?
Anything.
And for me in 2017, I just started walking in my neighborhood. I just literally took steps and started walking. And when I think back to that, I'm about to cry. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm just, as I'm getting older, I'm more emotional. But when I think back, that it was like literally a walk that got me started on this journey to start getting out of the country. It allowed me to think as I was walking. It just took me where I needed to go. They just kept saying, one thing, just do one thing. And I'm like, what is the one thing? I just couldn't figure it out. And when I started taking those steps, that was the beginning of this journey. So to hear you say that, put one foot in front of the other, that's my thing.
That's amazing. So that literally helps you to get out of your head and into your body.
For real.
We're taking a walk.
For real. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just walked out my door down to the end of my driveway, and then said, okay, well, let's go around the block. And every day for 365 days, every day I walked, and I documented it in pictures. So yeah, that was the beginning.
We want to hear that. That's amazing. We want to hear about that.
Beginning.
Wow.
I didn't know what else to do.
And you documented it. That's amazing.
I did. I took pictures, and you see how I lost weight along the way too, which wasn't an intended thing. It wasn't a goal, but
that's what happens.
It was a result. Mm-hmm.
That's the cherry on the top. Mm-hmm. Maybe big bodies are good bodies too, but yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, again, it wasn't on purpose for me. It was just, a thing. It was just the result of what was happening. But yeah. But so literal first steps, baby steps.
I see you putting your little project together. I see you collaborating with Girl Trek. You know, Girl Trek is all about
that's
walking.
who I listen to.
Thank you.
That is who I listen to. They had like a 30-day thing or something. That is who I listen to. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, the 30-day Black history.
Black liberation.
Women in Black history. And each day they talked about somebody. And I listened to that for the first 30 days, and that helped me get out of the house.
Teresa, get off the live. Get off the live, Teresa. Oh my goodness. I'm about to kick her out for real. Hey, Melinda. Hey, girl. That's true. Being in our heads keeps us from doing a lot of things. Everything you ladies are saying is resonating with me. Creativity as self-care, also self-actualization. You better come through.
Ooh, who's that?
With the $5 words. That's Miss Ife.
Okay.
And who we are.
Yes. Miss Bennett Bell.
And Joy said, that's amazing. Simple yet powerful. And then Yvonne sent you a flower party.
Oh, thank you.
Christina said, you need to make a photo book of your journey to freedom. That's the start of an idea.
Ooh.
Y'all better manifest her next step.
I like that.
And then she said, see what I did there? Yvonne, it's always a good time when Yvonne comes through.
Thank you very much. No, that's, yeah.
Yes, I love Girl Trek. They are I don't know how long they've been going, but they are all of that and then some.
Well, they definitely helped me. Let me see. I started in 2017 doing the initial walk.
Mhm.
And when I was stuck in, I forgot about that. When I was stuck in, it's so mean to say stuck. I hope my kids don't hear that. But when I was in North Carolina for 2020, um, in June, I started walking again. Actually, that's when I found Girl Trek, is in June. I started walking again every day until I left to come here.
Okay.
That's when they had the Black woman. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was like, um, it was Black women walking. They wanted to get 100,000 women walking.
Mhm.
And they started with, I believe it was 30 days of Black women and a different woman each day. And
Mhm.
they would, speak on them and their accomplishments and the things, anyway, all kinds of
And they put
things.
a
And it was
podcast out too.
amazing.
So it
Hmm.
was like a call and like everybody could
Yes,
like
yes, because it was a part of their
the podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
And yeah,
They
and I would
recorded the
listen
call
to
and like
them as
put the
I
call out.
walked. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
One
then
of
I
them
did
was
another six
in
months
Ghana,
with
I
that.
think. One of the ladies. One of the ladies was in Ghana, I think.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Exactly. One was in Ghana and one was in Illinois somewhere. I don't.
Illinois sounds like a made up state. I don't know. No, that's where I'm from. Yeah, that's
um,
amazing. We are so happy to hear all of that. If you have some advice for the ladies, so some ladies are trying to make that transition. So even though, like we said, this is your new normal, so you're trying to get somewhere else now.
mhm.
If there was something you had to say to help them to embrace this first step, what would you say to them, please?
I think I would just want to say trust that what you want is available to you. I'm taking baby steps. I'm still taking baby steps and I'm moving forward and I'm loving that. So do that. The thing that I kept hearing back then was do one thing. Doesn't matter how small, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter if it means anything to anybody else, but take that one step for you, regardless, and do it. And give yourself grace. Give yourself grace and credit and grace, but give yourself credit for what you're doing and be gentle with yourself because we just beat ourselves up all the time.
All the
Just
time.
know that if you want it, it's available to you. I mean, I'm not going to start crying again, but when I think back to how long I had been longing and wanting and longing and wanting and couldn't figure out how. And for me, it was simply a step. For you, it can be that simple as well. Just to get started, you just got to start moving forward. If it's writing a sentence a day, if it's taking 10 steps a day, whatever it is that carries you in the direction of where you see yourself going. Again, it's always going to move you forward, so you'll never see the end, I don't think. But you can
And
get
that's
there.
dope. You still
You
get
can
to
get there.
evolve. You
If I
still
can
get
do
to
it, you can
grow.
do it for sure.
Come
For
on.
sure.
If Francine can do it, y'all can do it.
Anybody
Okay?
can do it if I can do it. Because I was a stay-at-home mom for a lot of years. I just didn't see a way to get myself out.
Like, how would you behave? Just really think about that, y'all. Let that like sink into all of your parts. How would you behave if everything that you want was available to you? How would you behave? What would you do? How can you take that into your actions? Hmm? Ah, I didn't know we
It's
had
all
a
out there.
preacher in here on Sunday, but look at us. Gospel of travel. Mimi said she loved that.
No, thank you for allowing me to even speak about this.
Of course. It's so
It's,
important.
I mean, it's amazing to be able to share, and it's wonderful, and it's really wonderful if one person gets something from something that you say. So if there's more than that, fabulous. But if one person can hear me today and know that they can move forward, that's a blessing for me.
Y'all hit it up in the comments. You let her know. Did it hit you today? Do you know it's possible for you today? You tell Miss Francine. You know it, lady. I don't know what y'all can say, but just give something affirmative. Just, you bet your toots. Don't call her toots. We don't know her like that.
Look, as long as you don't call me Francis, I'm okay. I'll answer to anything.
Never Francis.
Mm.
Francis.
There's nothing wrong with Francis. It's just not my name.
This is not my name. Who you talking to? Not me. That's not my name. Thank you so much. Thank you for pouring into us. Thank you for making space for yourself. Thank you for making space for yourself and doing the thing you need to do.
Thank you for making space for me and allowing me to make space for myself. Thank you. What you do is wonderful.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting last year. I really appreciate that.
Sure. I'll be there again this year, I'm sure. It's online, right? So
yeah, it's online again.
So I can be there from here. So that's
yes. It is online. blackwomentravel.com/IBWTJ. Thank you. I'm going to let you go and I'm gonna wrap us up. We have other stuff to do. That was beautiful. That was chef's kiss. Thank you so much.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, Miss Francine.
Bye-bye. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay. That was amazing. That was wonderful. I hope y'all are lighting her up down there so she knows how beautiful everything she said was. There were a couple more things that I wanted to put up, and then we're going to move on. Although it will be hard. Our hearts are touched. I believe we will carry it through the rest of this open house open house day. Miss Goddess Tapestry said, I've stacked as well to allow room for creation, fully immerse myself in the shadow work to heal and show up fully for the work. Room to breathe. That's also what stacking does, is gives you room to breathe. And y'all was making fun of me because I don't know what Atlanta is no more. CDJ was talking about post-tax funds aren't taxed. That's what an IRA is. It's pre-taxed. So we good. You could take that money out. Smyrna. It was not Smyrna. Mina. She said, how's life in Albania? It is cute. It's getting chilly, but it is cute. You coming next year? Okay, girl. I'm gonna see you, girl. Janelle said, did I create a travel blog? I did, but I took most of it down. So I still have the posts. So I'll probably share. Like I was doing the what are they called? Like expense reports, like monthly expense reports and stuff like that. And then aside from like, the stuff I always talk about, travel, wellness, entrepreneurship. So, but I didn't create videos. I do have videos of me traveling, but I didn't create like, hey guys, I'm in Thailand. I did have a series at one point where I called it Words with Wanda. Yeah, it was called Words with Wanda, where I would come on every day and just like do a little snippet of like one idea I was thinking about and share that. I might release that into the wild someday. Oh, y'all were hearing feedback. Oh, sorry, y'all. How y'all tell her, but y'all ain't tell me when my mic was messed up 4 weeks on in. All right, y'all. Did she do it? I am so sorry. Oh, you got it? Okay. I'm so sorry I was not caught up, y'all. I'm so sorry. Junket is in the building. What's up, girl? Okay. think we got everything. I think we said this already, but that's really good. So I'm going to put it up again. Teresa, I love you. Period. So the Forrest Gump joke, I just had to call you out on that. But you are loved, you are accepted, you are wanted. You are all of that. You are the sun, the moon, and the stars. So yes, thanks for being here. Okay, so do you have any questions about, and Robin said, you never know when inspiration will strike. Sunday wisdom up in here. Seriously. Yes, girl. I live like that, and let me tell you, it's freeing. The gospel of travel. Okay. It is a lovely sermon. Oh, you're beautiful, Francine. It's possible. Thank you, Francine. You getting all that love, girl? Y'all got a lot of love in y'all today. Okay. Melinda said, thank you for sharing your truth and dropping knowledge. You totally resonated with me. I have been so hard on myself. We know, Joyce. She been hard on herself, beat up and bruised. Now I feel I could do better for me. Yes, you can. It is within reach. It is all within reach. We just have to be so much more kind to ourselves. Again, we're doing 78 jobs and we're new to 60, probably 77 of them. if we keeping it a buck. Yes, love fest. So you just really have to take a step back and give yourself grace to get through. Like Francine was saying, give yourself some grace. Y'all get more of this at the Jubilee event. Drop the link for the tickets. It's in the description box already. I'm pretty sure. I hope so. blackwomentravel.com/IBWTJ. So yes, I would love to see you there. Do you have questions about the Black Women Travel, the International Black Women Travel Jubilee that's coming up on December 4th and 5th, Saturday and Sunday? Tickets are on sale. I want y'all to meet each other. I want y'all to hear more of these inspirational stories, but also get the tools that you need to have access to yourself. That's what these spaces that we create are, right? A lot of times we're not saying nothing new. Honestly, we're not saying nothing new. You know most of this stuff, like 95% of this stuff. We're taking you from theory to practice, right? So you know it, do something about it, honey. It's something to know that you're on fire. It's another thing to grab the water, right? It's one thing to know you hungry. It's another thing to get up and actually do something about feeding yourself. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you to feed yourself. Did I do it? There we go. So come through and get this buffet. Okay. This buffet is about to be so good. So we're doing workshops again, because I want you to have access to yourself. And I want you to meet with Travel and Leisure. I'm really hoping that this other brand will come through and you can meet with them as well. So far, Robin and Kay and Yumi are going to be meeting with Travel and Leisure to talk about writing and perhaps on-air hosting. So I'm trying to get y'all the opportunities that will help you to take flight, help you to really soar, help you to trust and believe in yourself, because you can't get there without, like we said, taking those steps. It's something to commit to doing something and to show up to do it, right? You have to actually show up and do the thing. And you're not going to do that unless you have a commitment. So let's make more commitments, right? To the words, to the works. Francine said, thanks so much for allowing her to share. Thank you, girl. All right, Teresa. Okay. Are we going to have replays? Of course, darling. Of course. Of course. Yes. I'm even going to do, I think I'll do a Dahlia session from last year. FU money. What is it? How to get it? I don't remember the rest, but it's about money. So I think I'll replay that from last year, because that's one that Errol said really hit her. We were talking about that yesterday. Joyce is the bomb. Yes, she is. I might. You know I could do that. Love you, girl. Can you talk about the packages offered? Okay, so if you just want the live workshops that are happening over the weekend, $19.95, finished. The next one is if you want the workshops and you want accountability. So again, taking yourself from theory to practice. What the group coaching is going to be is us meeting, getting your goals clarified, getting some of the steps that you can take clarified, helping you to lift that emotional weight off yourself so that you can actually take the step, right? And then also co-working, so you're putting some action into the mix as well. And then there's a lot of grace and time in between sessions. So it's like every other week, coaching, every other week, co-working, so that you have some time to, you know, how it do on the stove. Sometimes we got to get talking good to each other, and then you can show up and put the meal together after it's done, getting all good together. So that's just for the travelers, really. And then for the creators, if you want to meet with Travel and Leisure, you have the option to do just meet with Travel and Leisure. You can do the live workshops and meet with Travel and Leisure, or you could do all three, right? So do the workshops, meet with Travel and Leisure, and do the group mastermind. Now, for the mastermind, there are payment plan options. You just need to contact me so I can set it up for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Dunzo for Shunzo. Yes. You just signed up. Ew, let me get my notification, girl. Oh yeah. How do I do? We gotta get to our watch party though. Okay, hold on. How do I get this to you? Oh my gosh. Girl, are we even gonna do the watch party? What do y'all want to watch for the watch party? I still haven't decided. I guess I'm gonna just pick something because y'all are not giving what was supposed to have been given. I guess this is my event, so whatever. Okay, Yumi Jean-Francois. I don't know why my email takes 375 days. I'm gonna send it to two places because maybe that would be faster. Did I explain the packages enough? Um, Here we go. Not Miss Last Minute, not Miss Off the Cuff. Okay, so I'm sending it here. So check your Instagram. And my email is literally still loading. There we go. Oh, y'all so sweet. Y'all keep talking about yesterday. What did I miss? So Errol came to IBWTJ last year. Actually, it was called Rally and Rejoice last year. But she attended and she just made all these beautiful changes in her life. So you can go check out the live from last year. The live from yesterday. And that's us talking about last year. I don't know if you're on your laptop or on your phone, Yumi. Jean-Francois. Why do I call you Yumi? There we go. Okay, now you can check your email. Okay. So yeah, Errol is amazing. Any more questions about what we got going on? So, did I miss anything? I'm trying to work out a giveaway, so we'll see if that actually happens or not. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a lot, but well of that. So you should have gotten it, beloved. What else did I have to share with y'all? Man, that with Francine is so good. I need to get good at taking this and taking like these lives and chopping them up, because like y'all need to see that. Okay, here she is.
Hi, everybody.
She's a star. Hey, Winner. Hey, Miss Winner Chicken Dinner. Do you eat meat?
It feels good. It feels good. I'm not gonna lie to you. It feels good. It feels good.
Feels good
to celebrate their wins. Okay.
Feels good.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so I wasn't planning. Obviously, Wanda didn't even plan any of this, but I was just listening, especially after Miss Francine just took us to church. I was just like, you know what? Like, there's so many amazing women on the stream that does not understand what it is that you do, Wanda, for every single one of us in the travel, wellness, and entrepreneur space, that I just feel like you need someone to say what you do, because I don't think they understand. Because let me tell you, for Wanda to be able, I am in the travel and wellness space, okay? My company, Flex and Fly, provides stretching, meditation, and yoga classes at the airport before you fly out internationally and domestically. There is less than 1% of Black business owners at the airport. I am actually a real small business owner at the airport, and that means that most of the businesses that you see there are owned by a bigger company. So I'm actually a small business. So travel, wellness, and entrepreneurship, that space lack us. So for her to be able to get some sort of partnership with Travel and Leisure, one of the biggest corporations that deals with travel, and she's able to bring you guys in front of these people, you need to sign up. Stop playing games. Stop second guessing. This is not, she's too light with it, because those of us that's in this field know how hard it is to even get an answer. Okay? So she didn't get an answer, just an answer. She got the people to come and say, no, I have Black women to meet you. Okay? I have plenty of Black people that are doing amazing things, that are traveling the world, that are changing their lives by actually getting up and leaving. And I need you to hear their voices. And so many of you guys are living in a space where you're second guessing yourself. You're thinking, you know what, I do want to do it, but I don't know. Well, maybe next time. You are so cocky to think you're promised tomorrow. When you get an opportunity, take it. Okay? We're not promised tomorrow. We're not promised the next second. In some opportunities, it's okay to be violent and go after it. It is absolutely okay, especially as a Black woman, as a Black person in this space, to completely say, no, I'm here. You know what? Wanda worked her behind off, and I'm going to show that I'm going to show up for her. Okay? And I think that's really important. Now, I'm going to be speaking on manifestation, so I'm going to be way harsher on y'all. I'm going to put it way harder on y'all, okay? Because I see so many Black people that are not traveling, that suffer from anxiety, that are afraid of really going after their dreams because of what ifs, because they're not sure how they're going to make it. How is not your business? There are people set apart to help you on your journey. And Wanda is one of those people that's loudly saying, hey there, hello, I'm your lifeline. I'm here. Stop asking God where. It's me. So pay attention. Pay attention to when your prayers are being answered, and not being in a place where you're expecting it from a specific person or from a specific group of people, or you think it's better if it comes from one organization than the other. There are real Black women out here genuinely, willingly ready to bring you in certain rooms that you are not even ready for. And she's one of those people. And honestly, I'm passionate about it, because I just think that there's so many people that talk about wanting to help Black people, supporting us and doing all that stuff. And this woman is actually doing it. Okay? I am in this business. I've been told a lot of dreams. I've been sold a lot of dreams. She's not one of them. She is harassing people like I do. She is harassing people, asking people to, and telling people, I have people you need to see. I have Black women that want to live their lives. I have Black women that are traveling around the world. I have that, okay? Yes, exactly. I have all of that, and I am here to represent them. And I just want you guys to know that there are really people out there for that, and Wanda is that. And so when she has events, show up. If you can't show up, let someone know. If you are not able to do it, share it. Show up for her any way that you can, because I swear to God, this woman is showing up for you in ways that you are not seeing. And she is consistent. She is brilliant. And it is important that we show big companies like that, hey, we have her back. Hey, if she's speaking for us, let us show you that we are behind her as well. Because let me tell you something about sponsorship, because a lot of people don't tell you this. I'm in this world where I do sponsorships, and I also have deals. When it comes to sponsorship, they want to see that the community that you say that you're fighting for, that you're supporting, has your back. Many of you guys are willing to spend $20 on a meal, but not $20 on what you really want to do in life. You're spending $20 on a meal, but not investing in another Black woman business that's fighting for you. I'm going to keep it real with you. Some of us need to act, not just speak.
Oh my God.
We need to act, not speak. Okay? And I'm a real Black woman, okay? Because let me tell you something. And let me just say this.
Oh my
when it comes to being a Black woman, I'm a B one. And I am going to call anyone out that is not recognizing the greatness that lies. There are a lot of people in this world that it's about them. She is not one of them. She is not building a community just for you. She is building a community for the generation to come behind you. She is letting you know that when it comes to traveling and having a safe space as a Black woman, this place is it. And she will knock on every door to represent you. So it is important that you show up as well. And let me just say this as far as manifestation. Many of you guys are wanting a lot of things, but you're not leaving room for alignment. People are connected to your alignment, and she's one of them. That's all I got to say. I'll see you guys at the event, because I'm going to get on somebody here.
Girl, look, Ife was about to leave. She was like, all right.
Now leave the link. Put the link down in the below, because I need to see some of you guys. And let me tell you this. I will absolutely be one of those people myself that ask for travel and leisure. Because let me tell you something.
Ready,
That's
honey?
number one, honey. I said, what? Do they know? Do they know? Do they know? Since the 30s, do they know?
No.
I just got an article on travel and leisure. My company just got an article on travel and leisure.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, it is not easy. It is not easy to get this as a Black woman in this space. I just got an article that talks about having eight women that are changing the travel space on travel and leisure. It just came out yesterday. These people are looking for Black people, and organizations like Wanda's is where you can find us. So you guys have to support her. You have to show up. So many of you guys are like, where? What? Here she is. Here she is right here. Do what you must do. Show up for yourself. Go after your dreams. Get your spirit up and connect yourself with the people that are for you. So many of you guys feel lonely. You feel like you don't have any help. You feel like, what's next? How can I do it? She's the one. You have to invest in what you see. Okay? A lot of people are afraid. You have to invest in people. You have to invest in other people to really be able to receive that back. I don't care what anyone says. You really have to. And if someone is providing that, is spending all their hours, not asking you for anything, putting up events, whether it's online or in person, just to get you opportunities and let people see what you're doing, spending hours on Sundays, Saturday nights, online, talking to you, uplifting you, you need to invest that back. Because let me tell you something, the universe pays attention to everyone that support each other. And at the end of the day, there are times in life where you're going to need it. And the first thing you need to do is sow into that person. So I hope you guys will come. I didn't mean to do all that. I didn't mean to yell at you guys the first time I spoke to y'all now. Okay? But some of us is playing games. Some of us think we're promised tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow I'll do it. Or maybe next time I'll do it. Well, you know what? I don't really. Yeah, you do. You got to make your mind up. You got to make the decision. And let me tell you, when you don't make a decision, you make a decision as well. That's all I got to say. I'll see you guys for the manifestation course because it's way harder and tougher. Thank you. Hey, Wanda, I'm out of
No,
here.
you didn't. No, you didn't just come through and now you okay, girl.
That's all I have to say. Black women, show up for yourself and others. Bye.
Thank you, Yumi. Thank you so much. Woo, child. Well, you know what? I never do that. So I'm glad she was here to do that because I never do that. I do be working for y'all. Calm down. You know, my chest was just tight yesterday. I might have a situation. It is. I be talking to y'all about this because it's what I be doing. I do it for myself. I have to make space for myself. I have to push myself. I give myself homework and then wonder why I gave myself homework. I almost quit on this event. I quit on it yesterday. I'm pretty sure at least 3 times. So it's a lot. It's a lot to put yourself out there and ask for support. To put yourself out there and try and do stuff for people and wonder if they want that for themselves, really, and how much they want it for themselves. I never intended to be a talking head, but it seemed like that's what y'all needed in order to connect with the work, which I'm most interested in. I'm interested in you benefiting from the work and taking yourself to the next level. It wasn't, this was never about me. This was never supposed to be anyway. And so, but I'm trying to maneuver myself to give y'all what y'all need to do, what y'all need to do for yourselves. And so that's why, you know, I started showing up in this way. So, which doesn't feel authentic to me, honestly. Why lights, camera, action, what? But I do it because I love y'all. I do it because if this is what you need to get to where you're going, I'm happy to step in this kind of way and spend 3 million hours. Man, if I was recording this, it'd be so much longer because then I'd have to edit and stuff. But, you know, with the podcast and with the group and the prompts in the group and, you know, trying to schedule these events and trying to make space where you all can show up and connect with each other and get the stuff that you're looking for. It is labor. It is labor that I chose to do, but it is labor. Also, you know, I've been talking to a lot of white people. There's a lot of, so many white people. It's a lot of white people. So that's why when you come through, I try to make sure you know how much I appreciate you, for the ones who do support, for the ones who do attend, for the ones who do invest, because it means a lot to be seen in that way. Like I said, it's one thing to put something out and it's something else for other people to pick it up. So head to blackwomentravel.com/IBWTJ. See if the event is a good fit for you. I hope you believe that it is, because I believe that it's going to transform the trajectory of your life, just to put it, you know, lightly. Thank you so much, Yumi. Thank you so much. I met her through the podcast and she poured into me in a way. She poured into me just like that. It wasn't so screamy because I was tearful that day, but not screamy, but what's the word? It's like upfront or direct. It was direct. So I'm gonna end this because this was not supposed to be this long, and we are meeting next for our watch party. So if you are in the Black Women Digital Nomad Entrepreneur Group, the link to the watch party is there. You don't have to have anything special. I take care of everything. All you need is your internet, and you watching me now, so you got that. So come through and let's hang out and watch something. And I will see you soon. Thank you so much. Thank you all. And to all, I will see you in a moment.